Casey with Nectar Flow Yoga, and today's practice is all about forearm stand, also known as Pincha Mayurasana. For me, this is probably the most challenging of all the inversions. It requires a great deal of shoulder opening as you keep the strength and integrity in the core. So you may see me struggle a little bit through it, but these are some of the drills and the things I like to integrate into a flow when I'm teaching and practicing forearm stand. So come to a comfortable seat. Today, blocks will be very helpful in our practice, so if you do have them, go ahead and grab them. If you don't, they won't be totally required. You can also use a heavy or thick book or a stack of books at different times. So we'll have the blocks to our size. If you have them and you do want to sit in Virasana Hero's pose with the block between your ankles like so, maybe a little more comfortable on your hips. And we'll come to this comfortable seat beginning a meditation, quickly moving into some of the strength and awareness we need for this pose throughout our practice. Begin to calm your breath. Relax your jaw, your hips. Feel the weight of your shoulders dropping down your back. And find a little more length through the crown of your head. Maybe start to deepen your breath. And begin subtly engaging through the center of your body, your core. Not just the belly, but the back, the shoulder girdle, the pelvic floor lifting. An opportunity here to set any intention for your practice, a focus of sorts, and something to come back to if your mind begins to wander. And take a breath in, committing intention to yourself. Exhale, commit it to the space around you. Your next inhale, gently flutter your eyes open. Bring your hands up high and wide overhead. Plug your shoulders down your back. Maybe gaze up slightly, feel an opening in the front of the throat, but keep length in the back of your neck. And then on an exhale, simply drop your right hand down to your right side and reach up and over with your left arm. You can bring your left hand to the back of your head, wrap your left upper arm in toward your cheek, and press your head into your hand into your head, vice versa. Then reach through your left elbow, drop your right shoulder down a little further toward the earth, and kick your left ribs out to the left. Inhale up through the center, reach high and wide. Shoulders drop down your back as you reach through the fingertips, then exhale over to the left. Fingertips can come behind your head as you reach through your left fingertips. Reach up and over with your right elbow, then wrap that right elbow in toward your right cheek. And reach through that right elbow as if you're trying to touch the top left corner of the room with your right elbow. Kicking your hips out, your ribs out to the right. Inhale up through the center. Reach. And then exhale, bring your hands together, bend your elbows as much as you need to. Inhale, reach up through the elbows, and then exhale, bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck. Now this is a move we're going to become very familiar with throughout our practice. Notice my ribs immediately want to splay out. I'm going to use my belly muscles to draw the ribs in, but I'm not tucking my tailbone. I'm not pushing the tailbone forward. So I'm engaging through the low belly, pressing my thumbs into the nape of my neck, and then reaching through my elbows toward the ceiling. Pressing my hands together, now I'm going to take my head back into my hands and open up through my chest, through my shoulders. Continue to breathe here. Feel the space in your ribs. I should say continue to breathe deeply. I hope you're continuing to breathe throughout our practice. On your next inhale, extend your fingertips long, and then exhale, turn the palms away, arms down by your sides. Now, if you have a block, you can go ahead and grab it. Again, you don't need it. I want you to simply imagine you have $200 bills underneath your armpits here, and I'm going to come and try to pull those out from underneath your arms. So I want you to lock down through the upper arms, particularly through the lats. And you'll feel this here in the lats. So squeeze down. I'm going to pull really hard on those $100 bills. Hang on to them. Draw your chin into your throat. Keep extending through the crown of your head. Belly is up and in, navel toward your spine. Just hold for one more inhale. And then exhale, release. So we found our lats here. We're going to do this again, but add some motion. I want you to find that lock. Draw the upper arms in toward the ribs. Lock down as if you're squeezing something under your armpits. And then if you have your block, go ahead and take it into your hands. Otherwise, just pretend it's there. We'll take that squeezing. Inhale, keep the lats locked, but we'll lift the arms up and mimic that prayer hand behind the head that we just did. So squeeze the block, lock the lats down. You just saw me engage it here. This is disengaged, this is engaged, and then reach through the elbows. Now, if you have a block or just the hands, press your head back. Reach through the elbows, keep the lats locked down. Lots of complex movement happening here, but we're building awareness. Take one more inhale, keep squeezing, and then exhale, release, arms back down by your side. One more thing here in seated, we'll inhale, arms up overhead, and then exhale, simply just bend your right elbow and take the left hand to your right elbow, reach your right hand down your back here as if you're trying to scratch your back. You can stay here just breathing into this stretch. You can add on a side bend over to your left. Feeling a little more into the obliques as they connect here through the shoulder girdle. Inhale up through the center, and then option to stay here, keep reaching more with active flexibility, less passive, reaching that right fingertip down the middle of your back. Option here to take the left hand, turn the thumb back, palm to face to the side, start to reach back as far as you can, then you'll bend your left elbow and maybe bind. So this is Gomukhasana or cow face pose, arms. I'm reaching and extending through that right elbow, engaging my lat, wrapping my left shoulder back. If the bind isn't available, it's not necessary. You can simply wrap the left arm around to keep the left shoulder open. We'll take one more inhale. I'm really feeling this engagement while I stretch in my right side. And then exhale, release the right arm, release the left. We'll take it over to the left side. Inhale, left arm comes up and over. I bend my left elbow as if trying to find that center of my back, difficult place to scratch. And then just right here, I stay and breathe. Draw my chin into my throat, keep the integrity of my belly up and in. Take one more inhale, and then on your exhale, side bend over to the right. Reaching again through the crown of my head. Continually checking in with my breath, core engagement. Come back up through the middle, and then on an exhale, we'll find that bind if it's available, but keep that active flexibility of really reaching through the elbow, locking the lat down, knitting the ribs in, reaching down your back. And I'll just turn this right palm back. This is the side that's more challenging for me, so I barely have the bind, and you may notice that you are similar in that one side is a little more challenging than the other. So you'll notice my right shoulder is kind of wrapping forward. If that's the case and it's wrapping forward, you're going to want to just take the wrap behind the back to keep your right shoulder open. Inhale up through the center, releasing. Exhale, hands down on the mat. If you have a block, set it to the side if you were sitting on it. And we'll come to tabletop. A few rounds of cat-cow here. Tops of the feet flat, stacking shoulders over wrists. Inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your chin. Draw your shoulders back. Find that lat engagement here. Exhale, belly up and in, round your spine. Couple more. We're not here too long. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. I've got mosquitoes flying around me. Exhale. And then land here in neutral. We'll take the forearms down and then turn the hands out like so. And so that the fingertips go toward the top of your mat. I'm actually going to walk back so I can stay on my mat here. So I'm turning toward the top of my mat, elbows in, fingertips out. And now I'm going to slide my hands forward and drop my chin down toward the mat. And here I'm not super open yet, so this feels like a pretty big stretch for me. If you are already open or naturally have open shoulders, you may be able to drop your chest all the way down to the mat. We're just getting started here, so don't force it. You may find, on the contrary, that just your forehead comes down to the mat, and that is fine too. So no need to crank into the neck. You can simply feel this in the upper arms, the lats, the shoulders by bringing your forehead down. Several more breaths here. See if you can allow the release to happen in the shoulders. Instead of gripping around it, soften. And then we'll inhale. We're going to walk the forearms back. And if you have your blocks, we'll go ahead and use those now. If you don't, you can simply bring the elbows down to the earth. So I'll demonstrate. This is a great place for books if they're the same height. So with the blocks, I'm going to come down onto my elbows. I'm going to do the same thing. Palms will come together. I'll bring my thumbs now to the nape of my neck and drop my forehead down on the mat. Puppy pose here, supported with blocks. Bigger stretch. If you don't have blocks or anything to support yourself with, you can just come to the previous variation and then bring the thumbs to the nape of your neck. From here, I'm going to do a little bit of strengthening, and I want you to move with caution. So I want the pressure of your arms into the blocks or the mat to help you just lift your forehead off the mat. Inhale, and then exhale, slow and control, lower it back down. Inhale, press and lift. You'll feel your lats wrap and engage. Exhale, lower. Inhale. One more. Exhale. Last one, inhale. I really feel this. I hope you can too. Exhale. And then from here, we'll release that. Set the blocks to the side. Get a little bit of shoulder stretch here. First, reach long with your right arm. Engage. Plug your right shoulder in. And then we'll extend the left leg back. From here, I just want you to reach out on an angle. So your left leg will cross over to the right side. The right arm will cross over to the left. And we're finding a little bit of a side body stretch with engagement here. Keep lifting your thumb, lifting your left heel. And then inhale back through center. Exhale, left knee down. Inhale, right arm up for a twist. Exhale, right arm threads through. And soften here in the shoulders. You may want to add in a little additional stretch with your left leg, kicking out to the left. And this is nice. It will help access into our hamstrings, which we'll need to lengthen as well to access this pose. Access that entry into forearm balance. Really good to have open hamstrings. Inhale, come up through a twist. Exhale, release your right hand, release your left hand. Inhale, left arm goes long, extend, lift through the thumb, right leg goes back. Exhale, reach, cross, press down with the right hand while you extend. And then from here, we'll take the left arm back out to the side on an inhale, open, dropping the right knee to stabilize. Exhale, thread the left arm through. And then maybe kickstand your right foot out, drag your right hip back, feel into the length in your right hamstring. My legs are really tight and tired today. Personally, I ran sprints yesterday for one of the first times in a while. Inhale, press up. The things we do in quarantine, right? Left hand goes down, right knee back in line. We'll inhale. Look up for a cow pose. Wrap the elbows forward, plug the lats in. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Few breaths here in down dog, settling in before we begin to flow. Want you to feel into the engagement even here of your lats. So play with that. You can option to kind of drop and draw the lats toward the hips, the head toward the hands, and then extend, push, lengthen. Little down dog push-ups here. One more round, draw the shoulders in toward the hips, head lengthens toward the thumbs, and then we'll take the head away from the thumbs, the shoulders come up toward the ears.
Come back to neutral, engaging right in between. Hips go high here in your down dog. Look forward, come up on your toes. Walk your feet up to your hands. Inhale to lift up halfway, belly up and in. Extend through the tailbone. Exhale, forward fold. Ragdoll, grab opposite elbows. Let the weight of your head create some traction along your spine. Keep that belly engagement subtle. Breath goes into the upper ribs. Drop your hips. Inhale, release your hands. Rise up to stand. Hands up overhead, extend. Exhale, hands to your heart, chin to your chest. Belly up and in. Check back in with any intention you've set for your practice. And here we'll flow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend your knees, fold. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen your spine, plug your shoulders in. Exhale, step back to high plank and hold. Inhale, press the ground away, belly up and in. Fire up your thighs. Exhale, down dog. A few of those lat push-ups here, just 2 or so. Extend the arms, then plug the shoulders back in. Extend, plug back in. Inhale, up on the toes, belly up and in, and then take big steps, nice and softly landing the feet up to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, side bend. Take the right hand down to the right, left fingertips behind your head. Wrap your left elbow in and reach. You'll feel some feedback all the way down into the left hip, hopefully. Kicking your left ribs out to the left, hip out to the left. Keep pressing your head into your hand, reaching through that left elbow. Inhale up through the center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Keep reaching, keep breathing. Kick your hips out to the right. Head into your hand. Wrapping elbow in and reaching through your elbow. Inhale up through the center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high plank. Hold on an inhale. Exhale, option to drop your knees or lower down from your toes all the way to your belly. Inhale, come up for a Sphinx pose. So here, we're setting up our arms in a similar shape that we'll have in forearm balance. I want my arms in a number 11. My fingers are spread wide, and I'm rooting down all the way through the fingertips. Now here, a tendency may be to keep that rounding in the upper back. Your job is to use your lats, push down through your elbows, draw your shoulder blades together, and bring your chest through. Back and front of the neck stay long. Tops of your feet press down, lift. We're holding here. This should be relatively strong posture, not a sagging and resting posture. Take one more inhale. On your exhale, I want you to press your knees down, lift your ribs off the mat, then lift your hips off of the mat. Keep the knees down. Press down into your forearms, your fingertips. Super strong core engagement here. Inhale, look forward, draw your chest through. Exhale, same motion, lifting, snaking the spine up. Ribs, then belly button, then hips. Now tuck your toes, come to forearm plank. Press the ground away, elbows pressing down, lats engaged, belly engaged. One more inhale, holding here. Exhale, take it into a dolphin pose. Heels releasing toward the earth. And then option here to find those little dips or dolphin pose push-ups. Just about 3 to 4. Engaging into the lats. From here, press up to down dog, walking the hands or pushing straight into both at the same time. Take a breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, look forward, come up on your tippy toes, and then step or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Deepening this forward fold here, working legs towards straight, crown of the head toward the earth. And then inhale, reach up, gaze up. And then exhale, bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck. Inhale, reach up through the elbow. Squeeze your arms in, belly up and in. A little dog interruption there. Breathe, squeeze, lift through the elbows and start to take the head up and back. Notice I'm not letting my ribs splay. I'm not kicking my hips back. I'm keeping the core super engaged. Inhale, up through the middle. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back. High plank. Lower down to your belly. Inhale, Sphinx pose. Exhale, straight to forearm plank. Belly up and in. Press the ground away. We're not sagging in the shoulders here. I'm going to walk it back. Hold for one more inhale. Exhale to dolphin. From your dolphin pose, press up to down dog or walk your hands up to downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big exhale. Inhale, look forward, come up on your toes. Option to step or jump your feet to the front of your space. Forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Belly is up and in. Exhale, chair pose. Here I want you to bend your elbows. Hands can be over the head. If that's too much in your shoulders, you can take the arms high and wide. So we're reaching. If the hands are together in prayer over your head, you can press them together and just notice how that feels. Notice what muscles engage. And again, if you're extending high and wide, reach through your pinkies. This will help engage the triceps, linking up to your lats. Take one more inhale here in your chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, head and neck release. Inhale, halfway up, plugging your shoulders in. Exhale, step or jump back, high plank. Lower down through a chaturanga, up dog or cobra. Knees can always drop for that chaturanga. You can also skip it. Take it back to down dog. Take a breath in here. Big exhale. Inhale, take your right leg high. And I want you to feel the hamstring and back of leg stretch this offers for your left leg. So this is important here as we build our entry into the pose. Take a breath in, lift higher, keep your right hip squared down. And then on an exhale, belly up and in, cat pose your spine. Draw your right knee to your right upper arm. Inhale, take it long. Exhale, right foot steps through to your right thumb. Drop your left knee down. Inhale up, Anjaneyasana. Reach through your fingertips. Exhale, hands behind your head. Lift through your elbows. Go up and back. And then inhale. Exhale, side bend to the right. Reach through your left fingertips. Maybe the right hand comes down to the mat or a block. And then from here, find that bind of the head to the hand and vice versa. Reach through your left elbow. Inhale up through center. Exhale, shift back, half Hanumanasana, half splits. Again, that hamstring length and flexibility. We're accessing that here and now. Plug your shoulders down your back. Just continuing that awareness and engagement in our lats. Inhale, walk it forward. Tuck your back left toes. Step your right foot to meet your left. And find your way to down dog. Through a vinyasa, skipping it, or modifying it. Inhale, left leg goes high. And then feel again into the experience that this offers in the back of your right leg. So for me, I feel a big stretch in the hamstring along the calf. I'm squaring my left hip down. If you need more feedback, take the heel higher, but keep your left hip squaring down. On your next exhale, left knee to left upper arm, lift. Inhale, take it high. Exhale, left foot steps through, right knee drops.
We'll inhale, reach. Exhale, hands together, thumbs at the nape of your neck. Inhale, reach through your elbows, lift your chest. Inhale, extend, and then exhale, side bend over to your left. Bring your right hand behind your head, pressure of your head into your hand into your head. As you wrap your upper right arm in, then reach through your left elbow. Right elbow. Inhale, up through the center. Exhale, half Hanumanasana. Splits.
Inhale, walk it forward, plant your hands, come up on your back right toes, and step your left leg back to meet your right. Again, options are to drop the knees or lower through your traditional vinyasa to downward facing dog. Big breath in, big exhale here. Inhale, look forward, come up on your toes, stepping, landing lightly, or hopping, also landing lightly at the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, reach.
Exhale, hands together, elbows bent, thumbs to the nape of the neck, and we'll inhale, keep the belly drawn up and in. Super strong core engagement. I'm reaching through my elbows, accessing my lats. Take one more inhale. Exhale, straighten your legs, keep the arms as is, and forward fold, release.
Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, vinyasa.
Inhale is your upward facing dog or cobra.
Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg goes high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right foot steps through.
Inhale, rise up, crescent warrior. Reach through your fingertips. Exhale, side bend to the right. Wrap your left elbow up and over. Inhale through center. Exhale, thumbs to the nape of your neck. Reach through your elbows. Open up your chest. Compress here in the back body, creating strength there. Inhale, reach. Exhale, modified pyramid. You may want your blocks here. Again, I'm going to flex my right toes, shorten my stance slightly, and fall. Inhale, look forward, rock your weight into your right foot, standing splits, left hip stays squared down. I'm going to wrap my elbows in and draw my forehead toward my shin. One more inhale. Exhale, forward fold, head and neck release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, and then play with stepping or jumping back through your postures that take you to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step through. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, side bend left. Reach through your right elbow. Inhale, center. Exhale, thumbs to the base of your neck. Reach, back bend. Extend through the elbows. Draw your lats down. Hug in through your midline. And then exhale, modified pyramid. Flex your left toe. Root your right foot. Draw your forehead toward your left shin and wrap your arms in. Belly's engaged. Inhale, look forward. Walk forward, lift your right leg, and come into standing splits. So again, working here in standing splits, not just the stretch, but also the strength. So I'm lifting through my right hamstring, extending from the right quadricep, rooting down into my left foot, and using my arm strength to deepen this. One more inhale. Exhale, forward fold.
Inhale, halfway lift. I want you to find length from your heels to your hip bones. So take the hip bones high. Then start to bring your chest toward your thighs and find Padangusthasana. Peace fingers around your big toes, elbows out to the sides. Draw your shoulders down your back or toward your hips as you bring the crown of your head toward the earth and work the legs toward straight. Really deep hamstring stretch, opening in here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Padahastasana. Slide your hands under your feet. Bend your elbows out to the sides. Fold. Use the strength of your arms. This is an active pose. I'm actively pushing my hip points toward the ceiling here. Lifting in through the inner thighs and rooting down through my heels. Inhale to lift up halfway, release your bind, and then from here, we'll drop our hips and come into bear pose. So variation here of chair. My thighs are parallel to the earth. I'm reaching through my fingers. This added extension of my arms makes this a lot more challenging. I'm going to bring my hands together in prayer and then reach through my elbows. Super strong posture here. One more inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Let's wring out the shoulders here. Bind your hands at your low back. Inhale, lift your chest. Lift your chin. Exhale, bend your knees, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Reach. Knuckles toward the back of your space. Exhale, release your hands and then flow through your vinyasa to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, right foot steps through. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, settle in, draw your belly in. Deep bend in your front right knee. Make sure you're grounding down through both feet here. Extend strongly through the fingertips so you're really reaching. Turn your right palm up, and we'll find a reverse warrior and stay. I want you to find the back of your head with your hand. Reach through that elbow as you wrap in, accessing. Strong in your back left leg. One more inhale. Exhale, side angle with your forearm pressing into your right leg, twisting you. Reach your left fingertips long now. Lengthen the side body. One more inhale. Exhale, right leg straightens, go straight to triangle pose. I tend to want to adjust my back left foot up a little bit, so play with what works in your body. Avoid sinking and collapsing too. I want you to really reach, twist, extend. There's so much happening, the lines of energy in this posture. So start with your foundation, your feet into the earth. Work your way up through the rotation in the legs, the positioning of your pelvis, the lengthening of your side body, and then the engagement of your arms. The left up toward the ceiling, the right sort of down and pushing into the right shin. Inhale, find that reverse. Exhale, your vinyasa, optional three-legged. The right leg can lift. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes long. Exhale, step through. Inhale, warrior two, left side. Extend out through the fingertips. Root down through the feet. Lengthening crown of head toward the ceiling, belly up and in. Flip your left palm. Reverse your warrior. Find left hand to the back of your head. So you wrap your left elbow in. Reach. Side angle, left elbow into the left arm, left knee, reach through the right fingertips, and maybe extend right fingertips long. Left leg goes long as we find triangle pose. Again, starting with your foundation,
rooting down, feeling length and strength. If you feel a crick in your neck at all, which I still get sometimes, look down at your left big toe, draw your chin toward your left shoulder or left collarbone, then turn your gaze up. Inhale, find that reverse. Exhale, windmill your hands down, three-legged or traditional or modified vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Big breath in, big exhale. We'll work our way toward our first forearm prep for our last sun bee variation. Look forward between your hands, step or jump to the front of your space. Inhale to halfway lift, exhale to fold. Inhale, chair pose, just for a beat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step or jump back and through. Make your way to down dog. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right foot steps through. Inhale to warrior one. Reach, extend, settle in. Little different experience in the hips. So in crescent, both hip points are forward. Warrior two, both hip points are to the side. Warrior one, we actually have the hip points on a slight angle here, just the natural shape when we find this stance in the body. I want you to bind your hands at your low back, interlace your fingers. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, humble warrior. Wring out your shoulders, let your head and neck go. Keep reaching your knuckles toward the ceiling. Keep working your pinkies toward the space behind your head. Inhale to come up halfway, and then exhale to find lizard pose. Another place blocks can come in handy here. You may want to take the block down beneath your forearms. Roll out on the knife's edge of your right foot. There's a lot happening stretch-wise here. I feel this in the front left hip flexor, the outer right hip. I'm keeping length along my spine. And if you don't need the block, you can go ahead and just come down on your forearms directly onto the mat. From here, we're going to meet in our forearm plank. So step your right leg back. Come into this shape, fire up your thighs. Press the ground away. Extend through the crown of your head. From here, take your right fingertips to your left elbow and roll open for a modified side plank. Root down, press down, feel the length we've built in the side body here and all of our stretching and our strengthening poses. And then I want you to release the left arm down, right arm back in the shape of 11, find dolphin pose. So revisiting this is our entry posture for our forearm stand. So even if you don't forearm stand, don't want to, this is an extremely beneficial posture both for the stretch and the strength. Option to just stay here or inhale, take your right leg high. Feel into that hamstring stretch that we've been working. Press your elbows into the ground like we've been doing. And then look forward between your hands. Here we are in our prep for this pose. So all I want you to do for this first round is lift up on your left toes while you hold the integrity of everything else we've built. Lift your right leg, keeping your right hip squared. One more lift, and then meet me in dolphin. Take a breath in. On an exhale, push into both hands to come to downward facing dog. Inhale, take your left leg high. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left foot steps through. Inhale up, warrior one. Reach through your fingertips. Chest is facing toward the front short edge of your mat, but your hips are on this slight angle. Belly up and in. One more breath in, and then exhale. Interlace your fingers, take the awkward grip. Lift your chest, reach your knuckles down and back, and then humble. I'm working
Way. And then on your exhale, find that lizard pose forearm variation. I'm dropping my back right knee, working into my left hip, maybe staying high on the hands, taking a block, or coming down to the forearms. And just enjoy this stretch. We will meet in forearm plank. So come up to the hands if you need to, or simply release that left leg and come to forearm plank. Hold here, belly in, engaged. Root down through your elbows. Left fingertips to right arm. Roll open for a side plank variation. Feel the length and strength in your left side body. Same trick here works. You can look down if you feel a crick in your neck. Draw your chin toward your left clavicle, then gaze up. One more inhale. Exhale, forearm plank. Inhale. Exhale, dolphin pose. Walk it up. And here you can take your dolphin as short as you can get it. We're going to take our left leg high. Press down into your elbows, kind of like those scapular or lat push-ups we did in down dog. Lift through the left hamstring, the left glute. Reach your right heel toward the earth, and then press up onto the right toes. Release, and lift. Keep the engagement of the elbows into the earth, and keep releasing and lifting, doing about 8 to 10 of these. They should feel challenging. One more round. And release. Press into your hands. Downward facing dog. Head and neck releasing. Take a child's pose. Drop your knees. Drop your hips. Walk your fingertips out long and then rest in the shoulders. Center of your forehead down. And get your heart rate back to a calm pace. Breath nice and even, not jagged. Finding some rejuvenating energy here before we work to go upside down. So stay in your child's pose. If you do have a wall that you want to work with, I actually really do encourage learning this posture against a wall. It's a nice, safe way to find support as you go upside down without feeling like you have to roll out of your right shoulder. Or I roll out of my right. You may roll out of your left, roll out of your shoulder. So find a wall, anything that you can kick up against if you want to go that direction. Otherwise, we're going to do our first round of pincha kick-ups. And again, if you are not kicking up today, no problem. You can follow through with us and hold dolphin, lifting one leg and then the other, or maybe even just finding tiny hops. So first, find our foundation. Bring your arms to the shape of a number 11. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And then root down through the fingers. Your fingers, just like handstand and crow and all of those, will still provide some feedback to your brain for your balance. So you want your fingers to be active, even though the full forearm is down on the ground. Now from here, finding that puppy pose sensation, we're going to come straight up to our dolphin pose. And this time I want you to walk your feet as close as you can get them to your elbows. And then press into your forearms to find length as we've been doing our whole practice. Inhale, take your right leg high, look between your arms, come up on your left toes. Now here is where little hops, or maybe finding that wall behind you to kick your right foot into may help. The legs can stay split the whole time for this first round. So you might find a little hang time here. Rooting my fingers down, I'm kicking up, and then it's really important to engage into the elbows. So you'll feel the whole feedback of the forearm. And again, going upside down can be a little scary. So having that wall behind you, great place to start. Up on the toes, core engaged. I'm lifting through my right foot as I use my core strength to stabilize. Squeeze your legs together once you're upside down. And then slowly split the legs to come back down. Take a rest before we try the left side. So some things to think about.
Tendency is to go into a big back bend. And we can do that, but we want to keep some control here. So as we discussed, not letting the ribs splay out and the core collapse. If you're back bending, the ribs are drawn in and you're back bending with length. Come back here to the forearms again. Really important not to let the elbows wrap out to the sides. We actually want to work the elbows in close to each other. Hands are out, fingertips extended, up on the feet, hips go high. Inhale, take your left leg high, square your left hip down, come up on your right toes. And then from here again, tiny hops, maybe just getting that little bit of float time. Try not to kick too hard with the top leg. That's actually going to function as your accelerator, so we don't want to overdo it. And the bottom leg is your brake, so you can bring that down when you start to feel like you need more control. You can bend that bottom leg or come up into the full posture. When you're ready, lower down, take a child's pose to rest, forehead down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands plant, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Having a little fun here. We're going to come into baby crow. So we've done all the work to prep for our forearm balance. So baby crow is just like regular crow, except the forearms are down on the earth. So same idea, grip your crow claws. Takes a lot of compression here. You want the knees to come up toward the elbows. I personally like to tuck my toes and squeeze my knees in together. Then come up, draw the knees into the upper arms, and lift the feet. Hold here, lift and round the spine. A little less scary, you're not as far from the ground. When you're ready, release your feet and come to downward facing dog. Big breath in, big exhale. Inhale, look forward, and then on your exhale, come up on your toes, draw your belly up and in, and we're going to jump through or walk through to seated. So jumping through, you press the hands into the earth, and then swing the legs through. Otherwise, you just simply step and seat cross-legged. So now coming into our back bending series, we'll take several of these and then come back to pincha with that added back bend. Come onto your back. First round we'll take is a bridge pose. You can have the option here to support your bridge pose. Block underneath the hips. And just find some rest here. Or take a traditional bridge pose, lifting the hips without support, wiggling the shoulders underneath, pressing the backs of the arms into the mat. Take one more inhale wherever you are, and then exhale, lower down. Now coming back to bridge pose, or come into wheel pose. So taking wheel, we'll take the hands mat's width, elbows wrap in, and you'll feel some similar engagement here that we've been building. I like to have my feet hips width and heels close to my bum. I'm going to take a breath in. And then on an exhale, I'm going to press into my feet to lift my hips, and then inhale to straighten my arms, coming into wheel. Any pinching in this posture, I encourage you to come out and take bridge pose. One more inhale. On your exhale, tuck your chin into your throat, lower down. We have one more round of back bending. Building, you can take any of the previous variations, including supported bridge, or taking forearm wheel. So again, building on this theme of the strength and engagement as well as length in our shoulder girdle. Forearm wheel, we're going to do the same setup, except come to the crown of the head briefly. So press into your feet, inhale, lift your head, take your forearms down, wrapping, interlacing fingers behind your head, and then press. Elbows into the earth, chest goes between your arms. Look down at the mat between your elbows and lift. One more inhale.
And then on your exhale, come out the way you came in. Very little pressure on your neck. Knees knocked together. Constructive rest here. Swish your knees side to side. And then rock and roll or jump through to plank pose. And back down onto your forearms. And now we've done some nice back bending here to set ourselves up to come into Pincha Mayurasana with the back bend, sort of a scorpion variation. This is not my forte, y'all, so there are a lot of back bendier people out there than me, but I'm going to give it a go. So come in the same way. I'm going to lift with my right leg, look between my hands, engage my shoulders, and come up in, maybe, to my pincha. So getting upside down may be a challenge. It is for me today. And then once you're in it, then play with looking forward, bending, and back bending. Whew. Play with it, use the wall. This is not my strong suit, so it's really nice to have that wall for support. So some drills to come back to here. You can back bend a little more, warm up the back more to get into that variation. So we're going to take a child's pose. Forehead down, hips to heels. And then walk yourself up. If you have a block, go ahead and grab it. I have 2 more forearm stand drills that are some takeaways for you in your practice. So we'll do those now. So with a block, again, a book may work here. You can give it a shot. We're going to do squeezing in with the elbows with the block first. So take your block right here between the elbows. And this helps us with that rotation that we need in the shoulder girdle to land the posture. So I'm squeezing this block actively with my elbows. Hands are down and turned out slightly. I'm going to come in here to my setup and then shift and keep squeezing that block. Maybe trying on a split leg variation. Lower down. So that's option 1 with your block. I like that one. It depends on the length of your arms. Super long arms, you may need to take 2 blocks and squeeze like so. Option 2 with the block. This one, when I first heard it, I thought there's no way. It's crazy. We're actually going to take the feedback of our fingers out. We're going to squeeze the block with the pinky edge of the hands, turning the palms to face up. So I'm squeezing here. I've got my elbows down. I'm using the block as a bit of feedback into the forearms, and I get a really nice rotation. And just playing with that kicking up. Extend through the toes if you're upside down, belly up and in. And lower back. Take a break. Child's pose. Downward facing dog. Jump in through to seated once more. And start to wind down between your hands. Come up on your toes. And then either step, like so, to sit the bum low or jump through. Come onto your back for supine pigeon pose. Right ankle to your left thigh, push your right knee away. Wrap your right leg on top of your left like eagle legs, and then maybe bind your hands to your outer feet and find a supine Gomukhasana or cow face pose. Unbind the hands, drop your left foot, scoot your hips to the right, and take a eagle leg supine twist, or unbind your legs for a twist that feels right in your spine. Inhale back through the center. Scoot your hips to the middle. Unwrap your right leg. Got dogs and kids in the background. Left ankle to the right thigh. And like me, try to find your peace despite the chaos. Feeling into that outer right hip. We didn't do a ton with the hips today, but it's nice to get a little pigeon pose always. Go ahead and find those Gomukhasana legs. If you can bind the hands to the feet, great. Otherwise, you can just bind your hands to your shins and kind of pull away. I'm really tight in my left hip, so this is working for me today. From here, go ahead and find an eagle leg shape. Scoot your hips now to the left as you drop your knees to the right. Supine twist with or without eagle legs, your choice. Inhale back through the center. Unwrap your legs, extend your left leg long, hug your right knee into your chest, and then find one last little hamstring stretch, maybe just binding to the back of the right calf, or pushing down with the left hand, taking the right hand to the right leg. Release the right leg, straighten right, hug in left. Extend your left leg long. Maybe push down your right hip as you draw your left leg toward you. And release. Banana pose. Take your left leg over to the left, your right leg on top of it. And then take left arm over to the left. And bind your left hand to your right wrist as you pull. I'm wearing the right pants for this pose today. Inhale, open back up. And exhale, left leg on top of right. Side bend over to the right. Inhale, up through the center. Exhale, hug both knees in, squeeze everything in. And release for your Shavasana. Palms face up, eyes closed, head and neck release. And I will leave you here in your Shavasana. I encourage you to stay for as long as you can. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you learned a little bit about forearm balance today and got a chance to get some upside down time. Thanks so much. Namaste.